And happy birthday, Shawn Mullins. Second night of two that we celebrate every year. And I'm so glad you guys came here to join us this evening. I also need to say hello to you folks watching the live stream on YouTube at EOP Live. We're so glad to have you. Send a smoke signal out to somebody else and tell them to tune in. It's all in the Space Face, My Place world. And it's out there, and you can watch this whole show live, which is really cool. I don't know how they do it, but they do it somehow, and you can do it too. So tell them to tune in. That'd be a great thing. Hey, if you've never been here before, there's a couple of things you need to know about in the lobby. There's a little bar. Shawnee and his band and Sam and I had a prayer meeting a while ago, and we all decided that the more you drink, the better they're going to sound. So please drink up. If you do imbibe, it's a wee bit scary, but Uber and Lyft know exactly where you live. And they'll pick you up at our front door and take you home. Undeniably beautiful downtown Duluth is so safe. It is so safe that you can go home, sober up. Your car right where it is will be fine. Come back in a couple of weeks when you get sober and everything will be hunky-dory. You can do that. Also in the lobby, there's 2 restrooms. Now they're unisex. They're unisex because there's 1 potty per room. We're not being social, political, or religious. It's just that I promise there's a toilet over there and a toilet over there. Now y'all all go in together. We don't care. Don't matter to us. I'm just telling you there's 1 toilet per room. So you queue up in front of the bar and wait your turn. Or there's a men's room and a ladies' room downstairs, and you're welcome to go that side of the lobby through the door down the steps, and there's an unbelievably beautiful woman down there that'll tell you where to go and what to do and all that stuff, and she'll take care of you. She is nice. She's very nice. Also, I got to remind you that there's some little flyers in the lobby that will tell you about what's coming up soon here, and we'd love for y'all to come back and see us another time. That's very important because that's how we live, and that's how we can do it again another night, because you come tonight, we do it again another night. So it's a circle. It's just a revolving circle, but y'all help us by being here. Thank you. We feel real stupid when there's nobody here, and that happens every now and then, but thank you for not making that happen tonight. Now, I met Shawn Mullins when he was in high school at Clarkston High School over there right around Decatur. I was working at the trackside and booking little shows over there, and Amy Ray, our friend, went to do a little career day at Clarkston High School, and Shawn hooked up with her and became enamored with the idea of being a performing songwriter and writing songs and playing them for other people. And you know what? He's done pretty damn good at it, I think. In fact, not only do I think that, I think Shawnee's one of my favorite people that I've ever known in this business. And I truly love him, and he's a good dude, and he gives back, and he gives back, and he gives back, and you guys here are helping him continue to do that. So we're celebrating his birthday 1 more year. We've done it for a few in a row now. And he always, another thing about Shawnee, he always turns us on to really, really, really good songwriters and really good people that he's met out on the road and seen around. And back in the day, a few years ago, when we were all just a wee bit younger, this young lady from New York was coming down to play with me and for me and with the folks that were playing there. And she met up with Shawnee, and Shawnee ended up doing this record, producing it for her. And it's called 80 Numbered Streets. And I should be able to remember that, but I brought the record with me because guess what? I couldn't remember the name of that. Now, I've tried like 7 times today to remember the name of that record, and I couldn't. But it's called 80 Numbered Streets. And she's got these for sale out there, and Shawnee's got merch for sale out there, and we're all going to appreciate y'all buying all that before you leave, because guess what? They can get some more. And they live off of these results of selling that. So please consider doing that before you leave. Christmas is right around the corner. Gonna be here like that. You're gonna need them stocking stuffers. So consider it strongly. But Shawnee and I both love this young lady. And she's not in New York anymore. Now she's out in Los Angeles. And has a career and a life and a family out there. And we miss her because we don't ever get to see her anymore. But we're seeing her tonight, by God. And I want you to sound like you're 1,000 people and give a nice welcome to Sam Shaber.
You turned around to face me and I lost my stare, 'cause your smile was so accepting that the rest of me lay bare. And you're so tempting with your deep river eyes. Yeah, you're so tempting, a suspected surprise. And you're so tempting with your summer almond skin. It's hard not to rise up and ask you in. Your bones, they sank right through me. Your soul, it filled my eyes. Your face, it burned so brightly, brought to June, December fires. And you're so tempting with your deep river eyes. Yeah, you're so tempting, a suspected surprise. And you're so tempting with your summer almond skin. It's hard not to rise up and let you in. And something gently broke free as I lay breathing your fresh air. You didn't need a map of me, you just knew the way there. And if in time we meet again under other starry skies, will you move me again, my friend? Move me till I. Will you move me again, my friend? Move me till I cry. And you're so tempting with your deep river eyes. Yeah, you're so tempting, a suspected surprise. And you're so tempting with your summer almond skin. It's hard not to rise up and let you. Oh, it's hard not to rise up and let you. Oh, it's hard not to rise up and let you in. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. This has been an exciting few weeks for me. I've been doing a 20th anniversary tour of this album, 80 Numbered Streets. It came out in 2003. Oh my goodness. We started recording it in 2001, which was an interesting year for all of us, so I'll get back to that. But I've been playing the songs in album order because it was an album. You remember those? We used to have those. And because I'm a Virgo. So we make the rules and then we follow them. Yes, thank you very much. We like to make life as difficult for ourselves as possible. So the first song on the album was our big first single, a weird song to start a set with, which is I Just Cheated. That was track 8. I'm sorry. You'll find that out if you get the album. But this is the first track on the album, and this was our first single. And I wrote this for my parents. It's named after the building that I grew up in New York City. I spent my whole life in New York till I abandoned the world that I knew for LA, because my dad was a theater person. He went to Yale Drama School in the 50s. He moved to the city. His buddies were Kander and Ebb, who wrote Chicago and New York, and the team that did Bye Bye Birdie, and Sheldon Harnick, who wrote Fiddler on the Roof, and the producers of all of Neil Simon's original plays. This was like, think of like who your crew is. This was my dad's crew that he hung out with in New York. And yet for my dad, it never quite went that way. That was his dream, and it never really happened, but he became a screenwriter. So strangely, we didn't live in LA when I was growing up, but he loved New York. We lived in New York, but he was a screenwriter. He wrote The Hunt for Red October. He wrote a movie called Nighthawks with Sylvester Stallone in a beard. Yep, some people know that. And the one that's kind of become the biggest lately is one of the first ones he ever wrote, which is The Warriors, which people either have never heard of or they're like, oh my God, that changed my life. So if you had either of those reactions right now, that was the proper place to be. So. But anyway, when I went into music instead of theater, they were surprised but they were very supportive. The family joke became just that my dad always wished I'd picked something more reliable, like acting. Because he knew people, maybe he could help me, but music, he was clueless. So anyway, this is for them. It's named after the building. I grew up in a big giant apartment building on the Upper West Side, and this is called El Dorado. Again, I'm squinting. My demons are back, and they're so convincing. The world could end if I don't keep up my pace. And you're so patient. You're always open, but never vacant. You clear a path so I can feel the space. Like a light through the black, like a strong hand on my back, like a cool river flows, like a break against the cold, like the value of gold. El Dorado, El Dorado, and it's kind of silly how something as big as New York City can be invisible when you're staring at your feet. And it's kind of scary how much you mean, and yet how rarely I say I love you when we speak. Like a light through the black, like a strong hand on my back, like a cool river flows, like a break against the cold, like the value of gold. El Dorado, El Dorado. I'm proud in my face to carry a trace of you, your song in my voice. And more than a name, you have given me a frame on which to build in a house of my choice. Like a light through the black, like a strong hand on my back, like a cool river flows, like a break against the cold, like the value of gold. Like a light through the black, like a strong hand on my back, like a cool river flows, like a break against the cold, like the value of gold. El Dorado, El Dorado, El Dorado. And it's kind of scary how much you mean, and yet how rarely I say I love you when we speak. So this is the second single that we released off the album. It's a song about New York. There was a theme here, as you can see. There's endless things to write about with New York City. And I don't want to brag, but it actually went all the way to #1 on the Quiznos Subs National In-Store Playlist. Who knew? Who knew? I mean, that was definitely radio promotion dollars well spent, I think. So, real dreams are made at Quiznos. It's not Nashville. It's not the Hollywood Bowl. It's sandwiches. That's where it's at. I looked up today to see if there even was still Quiznos, and there is. There's occasionally you'll find a Quiznos. So just think of me when you go there. Ask them if they know this song. We'll see. We'll test it. This is called All of This. Sparrows fight for words in edgewise, and sitting on my window ledge, I watch the Wednesday winding its way down in shades of chalk, inside blocks and corners, so these lives are kept while above skyscrapers give the sky such depth. Somehow in all of this, even when it's hard to be alone, somewhere in all of this, I have found a home. Imagine tiled underfoot, a subway roars below, and only thunder should rolls and wraps its rhythms as its rider speak in tongues. Inside blocks and corners, so these lives are kept while above skyscrapers give the sky such depth. Somehow in all of this, even when it's hard to be alone, somewhere in all of this, I have found a home. And from my bed I watch the night come, brings a silence of woven arms. Sweet Manhattan midnight might be more like 3 a.m. Somehow in all of this, even when it's hard to be alone, somewhere in all of this, I have found a Thank you. All right, well, I want to invite a very special guest up here to the stage, Mr. Shawn Mullins. He's going to come and join me. Devil horns, devil horns. I was... Thank you. I was hoping you were standing there. This is actually a first for me. TMI, I have pink eye. It's not bad. It's almost gone, but I am not allowed to wear contacts. So I am totally blind right now. I've never done this before. I brought my set list. I couldn't see it, so I just got rid of it. I can't read that. And I'm looking out the wing, hoping that Shawn is standing there. I have no idea. It's all black, but there he is. Thank you for being on time. I can always rely on you.
No worries.
So I'm very excited that Shawn is here to sing with me. This is a song off of the album, and I think it's track 5. I don't know. We'll look it up later. But we started recording this album in September 2001. And I was in the East Village in New York on 9/11, and I stood on the roof of my building watching the towers burning and falling and the world changing in front of all of us. And it was obviously a very strange time, but it was a time in New York that suddenly became very quiet. For many days, it was quiet. That's not normal. Quiet and connected and kind. And you would ride the subway, and everyone was aware of everyone in a very, very new way, in a very quiet and supportive way. And then I went back on the road, and there was this much more sort of mob mentality, like a let's get 'em boys kind of thing in a lot of parts of the country. And it was jarring for me, considering that I had been there for what it was and what that felt like. And a couple days after 9/11, Shawn called me, and he said, do you even still want to do this? Because the world just felt kind of hopeless in that moment. And I thought about all the rock stars, the Bono and Bob Geldof and Live Aid and all the things that created the dreams that I had and the reasons why I went into this, sort of watching these people changing the world in front of 60,000 people live and people on TV. And that was what I feel I was brought here to do. So I said, no, I do want to do this. I do want to do it because, if especially in times of crisis, if we don't do what we are meant to do on this earth, then we are wasting our time and that moment. So I'm really glad that we went ahead and we did this album. And this song is kind of about that whole experience that I had. That's not going to sound good. I can't see my tuner either, so there it is. So kind of that part of that sort of mob mentality that can happen is to me, when we stop thinking for ourselves. And so with that in mind, this song is called Simon Says. There it is. Simon says, look, I am free. I can have anything I can reach. And God is with me. Simon says, look at the greed. There's freedom in poverty. God is with me. But how many times can a flag twist around its pole? How many times will hate burn a hole in the world? Simon says, oh, can't you see? I've worked hard and built my life honestly. And God is with me. Simon says tranquility and heaven come only to men who bleed. And God is with me. Simon says, I'll make you see, I'll make you be exactly like me. But how many times can a flag twist around its pole? How many times will hate burn a hole? How many times? How many times? How many lives? How many lives? When Simon says, Shawn Mullins, the man, the voice, the legend. It was actually funny. The way this whole collaboration happened was because I heard Lullaby, as we did, and completely obsessed over it, and I knew that this had to be the guy to produce my next album. It was, I think, my 4th album at that point. And it took about 2 years of sort of constant circling. You could call it stalking, whatever word you're comfortable with. And I finally, I sent the tapes, and I did the calls, and I called Eddie, and I did the gigs, and I got it. I got him the tape, and he liked it, and we said yes. And then, all of that happened, and but finally we were down in Atlanta recording, and because of Shawn's schedule and my schedule and everyone being so crazy, we really only had 6 weeks to do the whole album, so it was kind of a rushed, I won't say rushed, we took our time, but it was intense. And one of the days we were doing that, we happened to be recording Simon Says, that Shawn got a call while we were in the studio from these organizers doing a big benefit in Midtown here in Atlanta, and they wanted him to play the benefit, and he said no, because he was working with me. And they said, no, we really need you. We've got the Indigo Girls, we have Fastball, Sister Hazel, Edwin McCain, everybody's here. We've got Jumbotrons, and Montel Williams is hosting it, and we really need Shawn Mullins to headline. And they talked him into it, and he said, fine. And I was pissed. Because I was like, it took me 2 years to get this guy for 6 weeks, and you're taking him away for 6 hours. That's a lot if you think, percentage-wise. So we get in the truck, and we're driving to Midtown, and Shawn says, hey, wait, I have an idea. What if I'll play Lullaby, and I'll play Something to Believe in, and then you get up, I'll introduce you, and you can play Simon Says, because it's relevant to this whole thing anyway. And then I felt better. So we get down there, and he goes up on the stage, and he's playing Lullaby, and I'm under this tent with some picnic tables. I have no idea where we are. And there's a guy with a headset, and I thought, well, let me at least find out how many people are out there so I can call my mom. She was my biggest fan. And I said, how many people? And he thought about it for a sec. He said, about 65,000. And he walked away. And suddenly I realized this was my Bono moment, my Live Aid moment had arrived, and Shawn called me up to the stage, and I played that song for 65,000 people, and it was amazing. It was amazing. I forgot to adjust the guitar strap, so I was playing it down around my knees, which was a little bit awkward. It looks great on Billie Joe Armstrong. If you're in Green Day, it doesn't look as good on me, but we made it through. So thank you, Shawn, for having me back to do that again. Another song on the album is called Rain and Sunshine. I wrote this after the very first time I ever went on tour. It was 1997. And one of my very good friends from college, Maribel Garcia, came with me. She was my friend at Cornell. And she was doing my merch, and we were sharing the driving and everything. And we got about halfway through the trip, and it was 9:30 on I don't remember what day of the week it was, but it was 9:30 in the morning, and we got into a car accident. She went around a curve at 84 miles an hour, which was actually under the speed limit in Arizona, if you've driven through Sedona Valley in Arizona. But it was too much for us. And so that was the end of the tour, to say the least. And this song came from there. this story that I tell about where we went, Aberle, and an open road through an Arizona valley. They say their God works mysteriously, but I believe in rain and sunshine and gravity. That's what took you from me. If roses cast their spell, I sense you there, Aberle, and everywhere I carry you inside me. Your body is bound, but your beauty is free. And I believe in rain and sunshine, gravity. That's what took you from me. I believe in rain and sunshine and gravity. That's what took you from me. Thank you. That all happened in 1997. And in 2007, my friends from Cornell and I started a fund, and it's called the Maribel Garcia Community Spirit Fund. And every year since 2007, we have given an award to a student, graduate or undergraduate, for what we call a remarkable contribution to the spirit of humanity. The first year we did it, we had a student who was teaching cooking classes to kids in inner city Ithaca, which empowered them to take that knowledge home to their families and help them be more healthy in the process. This year, 17th year of this award, we haven't even announced it yet, but the woman who won is leading adolescent conservation field trips in Central Africa, working with elephants for these African kids who otherwise would have no exposure to conservation and sustainability efforts. So we've had people, we had someone in 2020, the winner was someone who established a mental health helpline in Ithaca in Mandarin for students that were there from China and unable to get home during the pandemic and struggling with mental health. We had someone working with Veterans Affairs. We had someone publishing a literary journal out of a prison. We've had someone working to raise graduation rates amongst men of color. It's just been a completely wide range of winners for amazingly creative and dedicated projects, and we're really proud of it. But we are a scrappy fund. We are self-funded, so we're hoping to bring this out into the future and keep Maribel's name alive. So I do have some flyers out by the merch table. There's a little QR code. The flyers are sort of strangely laid out because I don't know how to do math, and I told the copy place the wrong dimensions. So and they're square. They're supposed to be rectangular. Yeah, I really don't know math. But anyway, if you see them, the QR code still works. But it's a tax-deductible donation, and also even if you just spread the word about it, it would be so helpful to us. Cornell has changed their rules of who can have a fund there, and we're getting a little squeezed out. So we're trying to work towards an endowment and all kinds of things. But we do feel like it's beyond the dollars. It is that kind of work that is so, so, so important in this world, and it can be hard to see sometimes amidst the big donation type stuff. So anyway, hope you'll check it out. Thank you so much. All right, let's switch gears. Nobody dies in this next song. I just want you to know. When we were recording this album, I was not single. I was not married. I had a boyfriend named George, and he came down to Atlanta while we were recording, and everybody loved him. And we even started to joke that the album should be called George is Cool, which would have been easier for Eddie to remember, actually. I kind of wish we'd stuck with that title. But anyway, so this is a song about that very beginning of a relationship when just you're like, you can't even eat, you can't breathe, you can't speak. It's just, everything is so perfect, and yet if you're a cynic like me, you're like, okay, what's wrong with this, you know? Bring it on. I know it's there somewhere. So this is called When the Roses Run Dry. Honeymoon, all waters part for the honeymoon, and every time we touch we shake, an hour apart my psyche aches for you. Now there's nothing wrong with the honeymoon, you feel so great, but slowly soon reality will creep back in, and all those fires quickly dim and cool. Life in the clouds, it's addictive, it's insane. The whys, the waits, the due dates for a change. But when love is not new, moonshine is only moonshine. When I have traveled every inch of you, where will we be when the roses run dry? First night you were late, so I sat picturing your face and wondering how the date would go, and you walked in and I said, oh yeah. And you confided all your plans, and I watched how you used your hands and how your hair fell around your head. I barely heard a word you said in there. But after the wine and those cute little boxes from Godiva, still be right when we're 65. Oh, and love is not new. Moonshine is only moonshine. When I have traveled every inch of you, where will we be when the roses run dry? picket fence, no garden path to the picket fence, no sweaters knitting by the fire, two hobbits in their little shire. No. But I'm starting to think that we can deal with anything we face in our real life together as a team, a locomotive with steam. Life in the clouds has come to earth and settled in. So bring me old and gray, I'm ready to begin. When love is not new, when moonshine is only moonshine, when I have traveled every inch of you, where will we be? Yeah. Where will we be? Yeah. Where will we be? Yeah. When the roses run. Dry. Yeah. When we're 65. Yeah. I am 51. And George is 53. Yeah. And we're a lot closer to 65 than we were when I wrote this song. Yeah. But you know, if we've come this far, if we've come this far, if we've come this far, then I think we'll be fine. Thank you. Yeah, it's amazing what can happen in 20 years. You get very old in 20 years. We were all a mess at soundcheck. I've got my weird eyes. I can't believe I told everyone in this room what's going on with my eyes. It's very embarrassing. Shawn's knees are a mess. Sorry, I probably shouldn't have given that away. We're all falling apart, is what I'm trying to tell you. But we're still here. We're still here. All right. Well, this is the last song on the album, and it's a bit dark. So this may not be the last song of the set. Let's see what happens. But I wrote this for my dad. Again, back to the dad theme. So my dad, he passed away in 1999. I cannot believe how time keeps passing. And so he did his writing in a ground floor studio apartment in a brownstone across the street from the El Dorado. And you could actually, he was like subterranean. You could look down there and see him at his desk. And he was often playing the card game Solitaire, because that was how he like broke through his writer's block. So this song is called Solitaire. And sadly, in 2022, my mother then just passed away, and we sold the apartment in the El Dorado. So there's no El Dorado for me anymore, and my mom was there 53 years. They moved in 1969, so it was very intense. But in an interesting full circle moment, just this past August, it was announced that The Warriors is going to Broadway. It's being adapted to a Broadway musical by Lin-Manuel Miranda. So my dad will finally get himself to Broadway. It's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. I, of course, have reached out to Lynn's office. They have not returned comment, but I will let you know what happens. There will be selfies galore on Instagram if that meeting ever comes about. All right, so this is called Solitaire. I also want to say a huge thank you to Eddie Owen for having me and always being the most amazing spirit, soul, music supporter in the world. Thank you, Shalom, for the fabulous sound. We do see each other every 14 years, so I feel like we're on a pretty good track there. Many, many thanks, of course, to Mr. Shawn Mullins and his amazing band. They are up next. And this is called Solitaire. If I had to choose solitaire as I try to sleep. Empty kindling case at your fireplace, where the ashes rest in peace. Oh, driving Second Avenue, all past 80 numbered streets, and every round of solitaire as I try to sleep. You'll never give me away. I'll walk that aisle alone, and every night and every day I'll miss all that I have known. These are all that's left for me to keep. These are all that's left for me to keep. These are all that's left for me to keep. These are all that's left for me to keep. Like a light through the black, like a strong hand on my back, like a cool river flows, like a break against the cold, like the value of gold. Eldorado, Eldorado, Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm just going to slip in one last one, because I can't drop you off a cliff like that and walk off the stage. That's just mean. This song is not on 80 Numbered Streets. This is actually, I have a band called The Happy Problem, which is me in indie rock form. And there's a few albums from The Happy Problem out there. And so I am now married. I've been married over 20 years, and my son is 5. He just turned 5. His name is Darwin, because he is a product of science. It took 8 years of IVF and all kinds of assisted reproductive technology, that sexy term we keep hearing about since Alabama's decision. And if I may soapbox for 1 second, it took, if we want to talk about embryos, I'm promising you this will be quick. It took 13 healthy embryos, well-tested, healthy embryos, to make one son. That is our son. And if we were not allowed to do things like that, we would not have a son. We would not have a child. So I believe anything that helps create life is pro-life and needs to continue. So that's my statement. So during those 8 very, very long, painful years, at one point in the lowest low, I wrote myself a cheering, high-energy song to try to will this being into existence from the void. And so this is called Baby. Everyone will run to see when you come, when you come. Nothing else will taste as sweet as your tongue, as your tongue. soft cheek, oh baby, bring the world home, oh baby, lend me your soft cheek, oh baby, bring the world home to me. Thank you.
so loud. It's hearing when we lie. Truth is not kind. You said neither mine. The air outside so soft, saying everything. Everything. All I want is to feel this way, be this close, feel the same. All I want is to feel this way. Evening speaks, feel it say. Nothing's so cold as closing the heart, and all we need is to freeze the soul. We wouldn't be that brave, I know. The air outside so soft, confessing everything. Just to feel this way, to be this close, feel
back seats of all my old cars, city lights, southern stars, this old guitar. It's told the truth and it's told some lies. Sometimes it sings, sometimes it cries. It's who I am, it's my disguise, this old guitar. It's just wood and strings and steel, this old guitar. It always knows just how I feel, this old guitar. Seen it share a broken heart. It's got cracks and broken parts. It's a symphony of scars, this old guitar. It's played for kings and it's played for paupers. It's all the gold here in my coffers, and still I can't give it all, this old guitar. Hell, I've even gone and named it. I've cursed and blessed and blamed, and still my fingers have not tamed this old guitar. It's just wood and strings and steel, this old guitar. It always knows just how I feel, this old guitar. It's seen it share a broken heart. It's got cracks and broken. It's a symphony of scars, this old guitar. I guess you could say, sure I've aged from all the songs and whiskey rage, crazy stages. This old guitar. It's just wood and strings and steel, this old guitar. Always knows just how I feel, this old guitar. It's seen its share of broken hearts. It's got cracks and broken parts. It's a symphony of scars.
Thank you.
You can't see the future, can you? Maybe that's all for the best. And that just leaves us with today. And it's enough of a mess. Do you really want to know what's out there? What good would it do us anyway? Don't have to look that far to see. There ain't no justice in the world. Here comes another shining morning. It's raining down from the night before. Don't have to be some kind of genius to see the wolf is at the door. The wolf is at the door. And that's another thing. Look what's lying on the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you welcome now the birthday boy himself, Mr. Shawn Mullins.
Hello, hello, hello. How's it going? It's great to see you guys. Thanks for coming out tonight. Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you. Happy birthday. Yes. Yes. I must say I feel older. I do. I think mostly I just got off. This is the last of maybe 24 shows in 1 month I've done. So we come this crazy amount of work in the last month, and it was great. And you know, it all went fine, but I'm feeling it. And I kind of injured my knee a little bit, so I'm having to sit some, but I'll stand up too. When I was a curly-headed baby, my daddy set me down on his knee. He said, son, you go to school and you learn your letters. Don't you be no dusty miner boy like me. I was born and raised in the mouth of the Hazard Holler, where the coal carts rolled and rumbled past my door. Oh, but now they stand in a rusty row all empty, 'cause the L&N don't stop here anymore. Well, I used to think my daddy was a black man. He had script enough to buy the whole company store. Oh, but now he goes to town with empty pockets. Lord, his face is white as the February snow. I was born and raised in the mouth of the Hazard Holler, where the coal carts rolled and rumbled past my door. Oh, but now they stand in a rusty row all empty, yeah, 'cause the L&N don't stop here anymore. I never thought I'd live to learn to love the coal dust. I never thought I'd pray to hear that whistle roar. My God, I wish the grass would turn to money, and them greenbacks fill my pockets up once more. I was born and raised in the mouth of a Hazard Holler, where the coal carts rolled and rumbled past my door. Oh, but now they stand in a rusty row all empty. 'Cause the yelling and don't stop here anymore. Oh no, no. Last night I dreamed I went down to the office to give my payday like I'd done before. The old cuts of vines, they're growing right through the doorway. And there's trees, grass, growing right up through the floor. I was born and raised in the mouth of the Hazard Holler, where the coal carts rolled and rumbled past my door. Oh, but now they stand in a rusty row all empty. 'Cause the yelling men don't stop here anymore. Where the coal carts rolled and rumbled past my door. Oh, but now they stand in a rusty row all empty. 'Cause the yelling and don't stop here anymore. No, the yelling and don't stop here anymore. I said the yelling and don't stop here anymore. Thank you. Thank you. That's an old song by a songwriter and folk singer named Gene Ritchie. And yeah, Gene Ritchie, there's usually one in every crowd that knows who Gene Ritchie is. Is that you, Gene? Gene be up there now if she was still with us, but I think she did live to be an older woman. But anyway, she's a great folk singer and great songwriter. She wrote a lot of her songs on the Appalachian dulcimer, and she was really a coal miner's daughter, just like Loretta Lynn. So that song really was a real thing for her. But I first heard that on a version that Johnny Cash did, which was a really cool version. And there's been a lot of people that did it, but we had a record in the house when I was growing up that Johnny Cash did a version of that on, and I remember thinking that was a cool song, you know, even when I was a little kid. And I found out, you know, years later, we had this great record collection and a great stereo system, and I found out from my sister that my dad had stolen all that stuff. And, he worked for the railroad, but he had a second job at a department store called Rich's downtown. Yeah, he worked at the downtown Rich's, you know, the one with the piggly wig, the pink pig on top. Yeah, you know the deal. And I remember just having such a great record collection, you know, and I was talking to my sister about it one time, and she said, yeah, you know, every Tuesday when the record companies would come by, they'd bring their new latest records to sell. They had one copy for the store to play for everyone called a promotional copy, and it has a little hole punched out in the corner, you know, and my dad would listen to all these records, and if they were any good, he'd bring them home, you know. Evidently the same thing happened with the gear, you know, like we had this great stereo system, and so, but thankful, and as much of a criminal act as it is, I will say that it was a great, you know, we had all kinds of cool music in the house. It was really a great variety. Well, I met him on the cliffs of Twin Rocks, Oregon. He was sitting on his bedroll looking just like Richard Brodigan. And I thought he was an old man. He wasn't but 37. He said he'd been riding trains for 15 years and drawing portraits to keep his belly full of beers. Looked to me like he died and missed the plane to heaven. But he's a nice old guy for a younger man. He had a bottle of Mad Dog he held tightly in his hand. And he waved it around a lot, trying to make his point. And I listened as he told his tales of wine and women and county jails. And we finished off that bottle and smoked half a joint. He said, I came here to watch the sun disappear into the ocean. It's been years since I smelled this salty sea. He turned that bottle up and down. I saw him lost and I saw him found. And he said, I don't know what I've been looking for. Maybe me. Well, I told him I too had been traveling around, just living out of my van from town to town to town, playing for tips and whatever records and cassette tapes I could move. I said, I don't reckon I'll be making it big, man. It's hard to get rich off a tour of coffee house gigs. He said, yeah, buddy, but ain't it a blessing to do what you want to do? I told him, yes, I pulled out here to watch the sun disappear into the ocean. It's been years since I smelled the salty sea. We turned another bottle up and down. He saw me lost and he saw me found. And I said, I don't know what I've been looking for. Maybe me. Said it's getting kind of late. I better be heading down this interstate. Can I give you a lift? Headed to San Francisco Bay. He said, nope, I think I'm gonna sit right here and rest. Maybe wait on the Tokyo, Montana Express. I might just lay here and dream my life away. Sit right here and watch the sun and disappear into the ocean. It's been years, my door. It's been years. I'm gonna turn my bottle up and down. You can see me lost. You can see me found. Well, I met him on the cliffs of Twin Rocks, Oregon. He was sitting on that bedroll looking just like Richard Brodigan. Just like him. used to do this gig. I remember driving. I'd kind of do it on the way to New Orleans. It was in Mississippi in Jackson, and it was more of a place that, you know, bigger bands would come through there and do fine. But the place I played was a little room upstairs, and it was mostly just people like, you know, kind of that came in there around noon and started drinking, and they were still there, you know, and there'd be a ball game on the TV, and then they had a little stage in the corner, and but the reason why I did it because they paid me $100, and back then that was a big deal because most of the places I was playing at, you know, that was rare, and so yeah, and this was in Jackson, Mississippi, and so I'd work my way out there and then head down to this place called the Neutral Ground in New Orleans, which is the oldest. I don't know if it's still going. Hopefully it is. Yeah, wonderful. Oldest coffee house in America, right? Yeah, a couple of 100 years old or something, or older. But I love playing the Neutral Ground too, and that was a pass the hat kind of thing, from what I recall. And a lot of the rooms I used to play were like that. So it hadn't always been this kind of ticket price, ladies and gentlemen. I just, after a while, told them, you know, I just can't do this for tips anymore. But I remember stopping, my friend Mike West, who I love very dearly, told me, you got to go, even if it's out of your way, go to Meridian and find this thing called the Jimmy Rogers Museum, and you're going to love it. And I said, really? Because I love Jimmy Rogers. He said, I know, you're going to love this thing. They've got a caboose. And because Jimmy Rogers, you know, he's like the grandfather of country music. And I don't know if a lot of y'all know that, but he's kind of one of the very first. You know, he was maybe the first country superstar. You know, it sold 1 million records and all that, you know. And this is like in 1929. But they had his guitar there and everything. He had like a 1930 Martin in there, and it was just beautiful, and all his suits and hats. And afterwards, I stopped by a little burger place. It was kind of looked like it used to have been a Dairy Queen, but it wasn't anymore. It was this new thing called a Dairy King. It looked just like a Dairy Queen. It even had the thing that had that shape thing. Huh? Yeah. But it was like a mom and pop that had bought, you know, like renting the property or whatever, and calling it the Dairy King. And so I ordered some food, and while I was waiting, I heard this conversation, and it was between the girl working the drive-thru. She was probably about, you know, she was a teenager, and her friends that had pulled up into the drive-thru. They were just, you know, talking back and forth and doing what kids do. She was giving them free drinks and stuff, and at some point she said, "You'll see, you know, you'll see, guys. I'm getting out of here." And one of them said, "Billy Joe McKay, you're never getting out of here." And I said, "Wow, man, that's a name right there. You know, that's one of those names, you know." And so I didn't know anything about her, so this is not really about that person, okay? It's not fair to her or anyone around her, but it's just kind of where songs come from sometimes. They you'll hear you know, a name like that, and that the person says you're never getting out of here. So then why would they want to get out, you know? And it starts making you think as a writer, and if you're able to observe, that's sometimes what will come out is something like this. My name's Billy Joe McKay. I just turned 16 yesterday. I'm gonna get the nerve one day to get out of here. My mom passed on 3 years ago. Said it was cancer and it took her slow. And ever since then I've been saying no to my daddy and my tears. You come down that road, you gotta watch the bump. Right there across from the garbage dump. You can find me out back jumping on the trampoline. In the springtime, we'll be skipping school. We'll sneak off to the Cantrell swimming pool. Man, you can't get much cooler than me and my friend Darlene. My granddaddy's hands are worn from 50 years of growing cotton and corn. Back behind the house where I was born, before he had to sell. And my cousin Eddie, he got shot in the Super Walmart parking lot. Man, this little town's changed a lot. He said it hurt like hell. My name's Billy Joe McKay. It's a hot Mississippi summer Saturday. Daddy's on the front porch with Uncle Dave, drinking Dixie beer. 16 years of being bored. Well, that window's open, forget the door. I hope there's some gas in the old man's Ford, 'cause I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm finally out of Thank you. Appreciate you so much. Thank you. Hey, y'all, welcome my good friends here to the stage. Let's see who we've got tonight. Mr. Marty Kearns on the keyboards. There we go. From Midtown Atlanta. Right here, Mr. Panda, Tom Ryan on the bass and vocals. And on guitar and vocal, Mr. Patrick Blanchard over here. I kind of want to try it backwards. Not like the whole song backwards, but
It's about to get really concerned.
yeah, I wonder like if we. Let's try this. Okay. Well, it's Friday night and I'm back again. With my old guitar and my trusty grin. The best you don't come in here sign. Tattooed on this heart of mine. From a dirty brown shag carpet stain, I sing my song in a pasty cage, stuck up here in the twilight zone, staring out into the great unknown. There's an old Hank Williams from the pull chain of the Pabst Blue Ribbon sign, with a clock that stopped on 9:30. Yeah, the time maintains round here in years. The same sad stories, the same old tears. There ain't nobody wants to be alone out here in the great unknown. You can find a stool there at the bar. It's designed to take you nowhere far. I got a mirror back behind the whiskey shelves, where we don't dare look back at ourselves. Just past the men's room down the hall, barely hanging there on a plaster wall, a faded sticker on the old payphone says, "Welcome to the great unknown." It's out beyond the yonder star. It's all up in the air where you are. By some cosmic wind we're blown out into the great unknown. Yeah. Hopes and dreams and ash and dust, it all seems to either rot or rust. Souls wrapped up in flesh and bone, heartbeats in the great unknown. Well, it's Friday night and I'm back again. Well, he was from a small town in northern Mississippi, and she was raised on the Puget Sound, a third generation hippie. Fate would take them to LA County, get them stuck in a traffic jam, El Camino and a red Trans Am. Her stereo was blaring Bob Dylan, the bootleg sessions, and oh, the times they are changing, made a pretty good impression. She looked over and caught him smiling under a California setting sun. They fell in love on the 101. California, 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 dreams come true. They got you with the in crowd. They got off on the rock and roll. The cocaine's free and the music's loud. Backstage at the Hollywood Bowl, they got the house in Topanga Canyon. Oh, they partied at the Viper Room, blending in to the neon gloom. California, 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 dreams come true. You can dream you want to. California, 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 dreams come true. Will you see them down on the Sunset Strip, trying so hard to be so hip? Manhattan Beach to Malibu, you know it's all about that ocean view. And who you know in Hollywood is cutthroat, baby, but it's understood. Champagne, Kool-Aid, drink it down. You're the toast of Tinseltown. California, 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 dreams come true. California, 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 dreams come true. Yes, they do. So you might wonder, where's Jerry, who plays drums with us? So Jerry got the crud a few days ago, and he's sick, and so he's back home in Decula, resting up, and he couldn't make it. So that's why you're only imagining drums and not actually hearing them.
What he got was an unidentified flying virus.
He did.
Yeah.
And so we're just kind of doing a little differently tonight, and I hope that's okay. There's at least one guy out there right now. There's one guy in the audience who's like, I could play drums for him. You know? Man, I should have brought my drum set. I just want to light you up, light you up like a fire. I just want to turn you on, turn you on, take you high. Everybody's got a flat screen. Everybody's gotta be seen. Everybody wanna be famous. Ain't nobody gonna blame us. Everybody wants the real deal. Everybody wants to cop a good feel. Everybody wants more money. Everybody wants a taste of your honey. I just want to light you up, light you up like a fire. I just want to turn you on, and take you high. Everybody wants to pick your guitar. Everybody wanna ride in that fast car. Everybody wants a puff of your pipe dream. Everybody wanna lick of your ice cream. Yeah, people want you better live right. Your mama and your daddy got you uptight. Your lover gonna go and pick another fight. I just wanna keep you up all night. I want to light you up. Sing it with us. Light you up like a fire. I just want to turn you on, turn you on, take you higher. Just want to light you up, light you up, like the fire. I just want to turn you on, turn you on.
Light you up,
Light you up like a fire. I just want to turn you on, and take you higher. Did you just give me the Isaac?
I did. Looked more like the Filipino Burt Reynolds to me.
He did the Isaac from Love Boat. He was like, what do you say? You look like the Filipino Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, you came up with that years ago. I can't
Yeah.
take credit for it.
I don't know if I did.
I think you did.
I don't know if I did.
Wasn't me.
I don't think I came up with it. It wasn't you. Well, this one goes out to Molly. She wanted to hear this. And, oh, good, you're here.
No, we got to make sure Molly the bartender's in the house.
Yeah.
She loves us.
Is this the same Molly? Okay.
There she is.
Yeah. It's 3 a.m. and the snakes have moved in. I'm playing to 4 drunks and me. But the beer is cold and the memory is old, and the lights are so bright I can't see. And lonesome, I know you too well. You ring in my ears just like a bell, and you're hollow like a dark, empty well. Lonesome, I know you too well. Sometimes it spins like a wheel whenever I see her around. Oh, but she doesn't know, and I'll never show. There's too many eyes in this town. And lonesome, dark, empty well. Lonesome, I know you. And you're hollow like a dark, empty well. Lonesome, I know you. It's 3 a.m. and the snakes have moved in. Thank you. Thank you. Knew a guy and miss him every day. We talk about it. Some of you may remember him. I know Eddie does. And Shalom. Kind of an influence, I guess you could say, a second dad in a way, and certainly a musical influence on both Patrick and I. And I'm talking about, of course, Larry John Wilson. And Larry John had a lot to do with me kind of, that definitely pulled from Larry John. That's all I gotta say. You know, there was this mix of country and soul and storytelling that he did that was so inspirational, and it was like when I first saw him play at the old Eddie's Attic, I remember going, you know, that's what I want to do right there, that right there, you know, and that happens a few times if you do this long enough, because it changes. You'll see someone else and you'll go, I want to do that too. Anyway, Larry John was awesome, and he'd bring me and Patrick and Patrick's dad and you know, other people that he knew would like it. He'd bring us all down to the Floribama. We'd go down to the Floribama. Hosted this really cool, I think they still do, host a songwriters festival called the Frank Brown Festival. And anyway, I just finished playing the festival. It was November of 1997, and I was in the van, and I was just about to head to wherever the next gig, I think it was New Orleans, and I had my dog Rhodey in my van with me. I remember that, and I started writing in my journal, and this song popped out. And but if you know Larry John's music, you'll hear the lyric "Ham and Hoe Cakes" that I sing in my song, and it was pulled directly from a Larry John song called "Oh Hoopy River Bottom Land" or "Hoopy River Bottom Land." And anyway, it was something that my great-grandparents and grandparents prepared sometimes for breakfast, so I thought I could at least put it in the song too. She cooks some ham and hoe cakes at 5:30 every morning. And she does the dishes, and she irons his uniforms. And she thinks she might have loved him once, but that was so long ago. And the rain pours down like a holy waterfall over the Gulf of Mexico. Boardwalk's deserted, the beaches all closed down. The middle school punk rockers ride their skateboards through the town. about things and people she ain't never seen, just to keep from being blue. She gets home about 3:45 and she drives her brother to the liquor store down Ocean Avenue. Whoa. Parked on the state line on this cold November day. And pretty soon I'll be a driving fool somewhere down this lost highway. And I hear voice from my soul's core say, freedom's just a metaphor, you know you got nowhere to go. You got nowhere, boy. And the rain pours down like a holy waterfall over the Gulf of Mexico. That was fun. Hey, would you do a favor for me?
Do I need to go get you a cup of coffee or?
No, nothing like that.
Sorry, I had to.
It's like the old Elvis joke, you know. I just got one question for you, darling. What's that, Elvis? You gonna finish the rest of that baked potato? Hey, I wonder, I'm glad thank you for grabbing that. And you can make an acoustic guitar sound so good too. We had talked about this, and I think it's a great idea. We just got off a great cruise festival on the water called Kayamo Music Festival. And we were on there with Lyle Lovett and yeah, a bunch of really great artists, Warren Treaty and Brandy Clark and KT Tunstall. Just, it was really a cool lineup this year, and as it always is. But they always do tributes to people that have passed, you know, where we all get together and do a collaboration, like a big show, and they almost always, there's almost every year always someone that we can, you know, honor that way. And evidently they had to choose this year. They only had time for one show, and we had more than one that had passed on. And so we didn't get to do one for this special songwriter and singer, and really a singer-songwriter and icon, and a business icon, and so many other things. But when you get down to just the songs, you can just break this guy's stuff down to just the basic songs. They're so good. What great songs. And I'm talking about Jimmy Buffett, the late great Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah, it was weird to be on a big old cruise ship in the middle of the ocean with a bunch of Americana singers, and a bunch of festival goers who were on a big old boat in the middle of the ocean drinking, and we weren't singing songs by a guy that personified that whole thing, you know?
But we fitted into a show. We fitted into at least one show. Yeah, you know, and sometimes he was the kind of artist that amongst, you know, the cool musician kids, he probably wouldn't be considered cool. I agree.
He was laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah, he was. That's how cool he was. He was a badass.
Shawn and I started talking about Jimmy Buffett songs, and of course I just start texting Spotify links. I'm like, here are all the obscure ones, you know?
And I'm like, man, I don't have Spotify, sorry. Can you send me a cassette tape?
So I told him, I said, you know, my kids are 10 and 15, and they can sing a lot of the lyrics off of A1A by Jimmy Buffett, because that's what we listen to when we're cooking dinner or hanging out, or that type of Jimmy Buffett song. But Shawn really likes this one, so thank you for giving me the opportunity to sing it for you. Sing it with me if you know it. Mother, Mother Ocean, I have heard you call. Wanted to sit upon your walls since I was 3 feet tall. You've seen it all. You've seen it all. I watched the men who rode you switch from sails to steam. In your belt you hold the treasures few you've ever seen. Most of them dreams. Most of them dreams. Yes, I am a pirate, 200 years too late. The cannons don't thunder, there's nothing to plunder. I'm over 40 victim of fate, arriving too late. I've done my share of smuggling, I've run my share of grass. I made enough money to buy Miami, but I pissed it away so fast, never meant to last. I had been drunk now for over 2 weeks. Married and I'm married and I sprung a few weeks. Gotta stop wishing, gotta go fishing. I'm down the rock bottom again with just a few friends. A few Duluth, Georgia friends. Speaking of friends, my friend Marty Kearns on the accordion, y'all. Marty, y'all. One line of women live with Sarah a little while. They ran me away. They come back someday and still can manage a smile. It just takes a while. Just takes a while. Mother, Mother Ocean, after all these years that I found, my occupation will hazard be. My occupation's just not around. I feel like I've drowned. I'll get drunk up at the Eddie Owen Presents Red Clay Theater. Feel like I've drowned. Jimmy Bobby boy.
Patrick Blanchard, y'all. With Marty Kearns there. So Patrick, you and I wrote a song a few years back when we came across a guy that I had met before, maybe a decade before, if not more, up in Portland, Oregon, out there. And we the first time I played out that way, I didn't have a proper gig, and I met a number of interesting characters that were street musicians and performers out there, and that's where I learned the hard way that you had to have a permit to do that there. And, but I met a guy there named Frank that was an artist, and he worked around Pioneer Square, and sometimes he would sleep in shelters, sometimes he would pop his tent somewhere in a grassy area, and he's an interesting cat. He'd been a real Vietnam vet, no bullshit. He had his card still and everything, and he'd been there. When I first met him, it was '94, and he had been there since June of 1969. That's when he first got there, and he had been a vet, and he kind of was a little turned around when he got there, and he got to the West Coast. He hitchhiked up the West Coast, landed in Portland, fell in love with a hippie girl, and she broke his heart. And anyway, the last time we were there, he was still there, and we decided to write him this song. It's called Sunshine. Well, Frank don't mind the rain. He kinda digs the sound. But Portland in November can sometimes get you down when you're standing in the doorway trying to keep out of the cold. No one's looking your way. You got no bills to fold. Well, Frank, he don't like begging, but he could use a buck or two. Get a bed down at the Mission, maybe sleep a whole night through, and dream about Maria, a girl that he once knew. We all need a little sunshine. We all need a little sunshine. Everybody needs a little sunshine. Too many days dark and gray. Need a little sunshine. June of '69, he thumbed here up the West Coast to get the war off of his mind. It's where he met Maria, and she made him feel so fine, singing, we all need a little sunshine.
so was she, singing in the sunshine, the sweet sunshine. Frank wakes up at sunrise. He hears a distant train. He finds a piece of cardboard in the alley by the drain. And he writes his message black and bold. Remembers why he came here. We all need a little sunshine. We all need a little sunshine. Everybody needs a little sunshine. Too many days, dark and gray. We need a little sunshine, a little sunshine. A little sunshine, just a little sunshine needs a little sunshine. Yeah, we all need a little sunshine. Frank don't mind the rain. He kinda digs the sound. Thank you. I ain't sitting down. Well, you can read it in the paper, watch it on the news. Everybody's got the pre-apocalyptic blues. You better be ready when the shit goes down. Well, you better head on down to
of rice and beans. Year's supply of 2-ply for your composting latrine. So you be ready when the shit goes down. Now, don't hesitate, don't procrastinate, or you'll all be running scared. There ain't no second chances for the bravery impaired. Cause you know there's a couple of commies hiding underneath your bed. And the zombie's gonna eat up all the brains in your head. I got a Rambo knife with a compass on it and a ballistic bug-out bag. Got a AK-47, 100 extra mags, I'm gonna be ready when the shit goes down. Tell them one time, Marty. Got a Stinger missile mounted on my wife's SUV. They won't get to me, no matter who they are. I got landmines buried all over my yard, 'cause I read it in the papers, y'all. I watched it on the news. And now I got the cryptic pre-apocalyptic blues. I'm gonna be ready when the shit goes down. Will you be ready when the shit goes down?
Marty said I fell out the boat a couple times on that.
I've lost count of the times I've given up on you, but you make such a beautiful wreck, you do. In the tavern on the corner called the Milky Way, and you look so at home there, it makes me afraid. And at the dark end of this bar, what a beautiful wreck you are. When you go too far, beautiful
7 years ago. Like all the promises you made, I watched them come and go. You put your keys in the car, but it would not drive. Your hands on the wheel, looking barely alive now. I'm still sitting here waiting on the passenger side for you to make up your mind. For you to make up your mind. At the dark end of this bar, what a beautiful wreck you are. When you go too far, beautiful wreck you are. What a beautiful, such a beautiful wreck you are. What a beautiful, such a beautiful up on you, but you make such a beautiful wreck, you do. Yeah, you make such a beautiful wreck, you do. You make such a beautiful wreck, you do. At the dark end of this bar, what a beautiful wreck you are. When you go too far, beautiful wreck you are. What a beautiful, such a beautiful wreck you are. What a beautiful, such a beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. This song's an old song, and they argue. Google argues with the legend on who wrote it, but it doesn't really matter. You know, they're not gonna get paid royalties at this point anyway. Yeah, it all goes to public domain after 75 years. So, but anyway, no one really knows who wrote it, and some people say it was a guy who hung out in a whorehouse, and to me, I don't think that's probably what happened. I think. I think what happened was the woman who was the lady of the night was very affected by what she did, and she had a tough life, and she ended up writing the words of this on a cell wall in New Orleans on the ladies' prison wall, and that's part of the legend, and they say that from that it developed into a song, and so I don't know, I like that story better, and so otherwise, it's like, woe is me.
I just got nowhere else to go. I don't know. There is a house down in New Orleans they call the rising sun. It's been the ruin of many a poor girl. God, I know I'm one. My mother was a tailor, and she sewed these new blue jeans. And my sweetheart was a gambler, Lord, and drinking down in New Orleans. Now the only thing that a gambler needs is a suitcase. I said a suitcase and a trunk. And the only time he's satisfied is when he's on a drunk. So go and tell my baby sister, tell her not to do what I have done. Go and show that house down in New Orleans that they call the rising sun. y'all so much. Patrick Blanchard, Marty Kern, the Panda, Tom Ryan. Thank you. Y'all know how to make a birthday special. Thank you. Sure do. This song started in the desert near Joshua Tree, and I finished it after playing a little place in Hollywood that was a music venue and a Chinese restaurant all rolled into one. A place called Genghis Cohen. And that was a good place to go if you didn't want to have to pay to play, which is what you have to do in LA until you can draw people. So I'd go to Genghis and they'd feed you and let you pass a hat around or whatever. And I thought it was just a great spot. And you never knew who was going to show up on any given night. You know, Joni Mitchell or Ricky Lee or different people would come in and just want to play a set at this place. It was that kind of spot, you know. So anyway, I finally got to where I could sell Genghis Cohen out, which meant 30 people coming and sitting in there for free. But still, in LA, if you can do that, if you can draw 30 people, and that's good, because they've seen it all, man. And anyway, a woman about my age came up to me after the show, and she had some really sweet things to say about my stories and my songs. And she said, you know, if you got time, I got a story for you. I said, yeah, I got time. I'm about to have some food, and so have a seat. And so for the next hour and a half, maybe a couple hours, she just blew my mind of all these stories growing up in Hollywood. And so the song was easy to write after that. And some of it I actually took from her real story. Some of it I made up, of course. And I didn't have any clue what would happen with that song. It felt a little different. But I don't know, like a little more than a year later, it was on its way to #1, and I was going to the Grammys. And, yeah. And I tried really hard not to actually walk on the red carpet, but they made me. But anyway, so that was neat. It's neat when once in a while something like that happens. You don't mean for it to, you know. I wasn't setting out to try to write some song that, you know, I was just kind of telling stories like I normally do, and it's a funny, interesting thing when something clicks and everything's timed out just right. And then somebody wants to put a bunch of money into it to make it sell records. That's cool too. She grew up with the children of the stars in the Hollywood Hills and the Boulevard. Her parents threw big parties, you know, everyone was there. We hung out with folks like Dennis Hopper, Bob Seger, and Sonny and Cher.
She feels safe now in this bar on Fairfax. And from the stage I can tell that she can't let go and she can't relax. And just before she hangs her head to cry, I sing to her a lullaby. I sing everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye, and everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye, rockabye. She still lives with her mom outside the city. Down that street, about a half a mile. And all her friends tell her that she's so pretty. She'd be a whole lot prettier, you know, if she'd smile once in a while. But you know, even her smile looks just like a frown. 'Cause she's seen her share of devils in this angel town. And everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye. Everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye, rockabye. So sure about this place. It's hard to play a gig in this town, keep a straight face. It seems like everybody's got a plan. They better, man. It's kind of like Nashville with a tan. Y'all singing. Say bye-bye, say bye-bye. Thank y'all so much. What a fun night for me. Thank y'all. Give it up for these guys. Give it up for Sam Shaber.
Thank you. Thank you. You've been so good to us. Thank you.